Welcome to Straight Talk about Health and Wellness. My name is Mary Henderson, and I am your host. Straight Talk about Health and Wellness, we bring valuable information and we bring information to help you make good decisions in your life. All right. So today we have a very knowledgeable person today. Okay, we are going to talk about something that some families just avoid talking about it. And I know it's not easy. Believe me, it's not easy to talk about when we may leave this earth and how we're gonna leave and our kids and our grandkids and getting stuff lined up. I know because I've been through that before, and it's not easy. But this is something that you don't want your family to worry about. Everything will be in place. So we have a young man today that will give us the information how to do that. All right. So today we have Dirk Allen. Good morning, good afternoon, or where in the world you may be.
Hello, Larry. Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great. And thank you for taking time out your busy schedule, to
Absolutely.
come see
My
me.
pleasure. My pleasure.
So, so Dirk, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Thank you. My background is in social work and in the field of autism, where I spent more than a decade helping individuals and families navigate important life decisions. I also spent several years in training and human resources, helping people develop skills and confidence in the workplace. When what I realized throughout those experiences, Mary, is that whether you're helping someone with healthcare, education, career development, or finances, it's always comes down to relationships, trust, communication, and helping people feel more confident about their future. That's what basically ultimately led me to financial services, where I now have the opportunity to help individuals and families protect what they built and prepare for what's ahead.
Nice, nice. You were a social worker.
Yes, that's what I start off in at the University of Akron, and I really chose a field that was being in service to others, and I chose something that was natural to me, and I wanted to
Mhm.
make a difference, and I knew that empowering others is something that would be empowering to me, and that's the reason why I chose the fields that I chose over the years, is because it really gives me an opportunity to make a difference.
Oh my goodness, that's a special population that you were dealing with. Autism and the
Yeah.
spectrum and all that.
Yes,
My
yes.
goodness, you were special. You special,
Well, you
Dirk.
know what? I think that, when we're called to do certain things, if we pay attention to what gifts are sent to us from above, I want to make sure that I'm staying true to that, staying true to
Mhm.
myself. And this is just something that's natural to me. And I enjoy it. And I'm just going to continue to do it. It's blessed.
Nice, nice. Why did you decide to get into life insurance work?
I think it's just a natural transition for me professionally. I've always enjoyed helping people make important decisions with confidence. What attracted me to this profession was the opportunity to help people protect their families, prepare for retirement, and create a plan for the future.
Hmm. So what I'm hearing, you always want to help people improve. Is that
Yes,
what I'm getting?
yes.
Be
Empower,
knowledgeable and
yes,
empowerment. Empowerment, that's a big word.
yes,
Yeah, you always like to want to empower people.
yes.
I think, yeah, that's a
I think
special gift.
the opportunity to take someone, which I think about myself in these in the same situations, taking someone from the known to the unknown. We're often familiar with things that we know, and we kind of sometimes stay with things that we know and we're familiar with. And
Mhm.
sometimes, a Sherpa to guide us to somewhere different, to which might make us better professionally, as
Mhm.
individuals. So I think it's just something I just chose that was just naturally congruent with how I am as a person, my life
Mhm.
experiences, and I really enjoy it.
Nice, nice. What is life insurance, Dirk? What is life insurance? Some of us don't know what life insurance is.
Good question. I will say at its core, life insurance is a financial safety net. If something unexpected happens, it can provide financial support to the people you care about most.
Hmm.
It's an important part of protecting everything you work hard to build. And that, for sure, as we move on in life events and in life experiences, these things come more important to us. And I like the opportunity to, have conversations and provide that information.
We need to have a conversation regarding financial planning. A lot of us, we don't have that conversation regarding financial planning. Is this part, is this just as part of financial planning as anything else?
Well, I would say the first thing is I would like to use the analogy of if we were to go to see a doctor, we would not want a doctor to fall out the sky and say, "Hey, man, I'm ready to operate on you." You would say,
That
"Hey, wait a
that's
minute.
bad.
You didn't ask me any questions. You didn't look at my chart. You didn't look at anything." So I think
Yeah, that's
what
true.
we what we would do, with our health professionals and our doctor, we want
Hmm.
to provide them with all the information that they need so that they can do what? So that they can make a plan, decision, come up with
Hmm.
a solution that's comprehensive, that's customized, for you. So in financial planning, in providing protection, insurance, all these things, it comes with a lot of information gathering. And that's the way that I'll be able to provide, helpful, customized information. It's just asking questions and getting information to find out what's most important in Mary. What's your next, life of it in the next 2 years or 5 years?
Hmm.
What is it that you want to do? That's really what it's.
Hmm.
Yes.
So that's why we need that financial planning piece in our life, I think. And it's just that the example you made is
Yeah.
just so real because we wouldn't want a doctor to say, "Oh, you need surgery," and he come off taking off his overcoat and put on a
No,
white jacket, and let's
no.
walk to the OR room. The
That's
OR.
that is I use that analogy is because that's when we're most concerned about what we communicate is when we're
Hmm.
talking about ourselves and how we feel. And I
Yeah.
think in financial planning or whatever planning it is, we need to think about it like we plan for a vacation. You don't
Mm.
plan for a vacation after you come back. You
True.
plan for the ending in advance. And I
Hmm.
think with planning anything in life, financial planning, protection, whatever it may be, seeing how far we have to go ahead and plan for that, so that we can make a necessary, decision so we can get started and find out where we need to go.
So true. Why is there so many misconceptions? We have so many theories about stuff. Some culturally, some things that we think the misconceptions of things. So why is that? Why do we have that in our lives sometimes?
Well, I think, you know what? Many people think life insurance is only for older people or
Mm,
that it's too expensive.
hmm.
Another misconception is that it's only about death benefit when it can also be a part of a broader financial and legacy strategy. So
Hmm.
insurance, life insurance isn't about for people who are leaving this earth. There are
Hmm.
living benefits that have to do with financial planning. And I think
Hmm.
just answering questions again, because oftentimes people have questions or they receive some non-factual information. And I
Hmm.
want to be able to be that buffer to be able to provide factual information, answer questions, so that that can lessen the anxiety when we're talking about financial planning, life insurance, or whatever the
Hmm.
scope of your goals are.
Sure, sure. Some people think that they're young and they don't need to think about that now.
Mm.
But but newsflash, I'm hearing a lot of these are leaving in their 40s.
Yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? So what age should be the right age to prepare to start thinking about it? Put a few pennies aside So what would be the right age, you think?
That's a great question. I would say generally sooner rather than later. Coverage is often more affordable when you're younger and healthier. Major
Mhm.
life events like marriage, children, home ownership, or starting a business are all good times to explore your options.
I see. So actually, the sooner the better, what I'm getting.
Absolutely, because if you think about, and when it comes to coverage or protections, life insurance,
Hmm.
it's all based upon risk. And as we grow older, our risk, our chances of health concerns being a something we have to pay attention to, or anything else. Life, the longevity of life is not guaranteed. That's the part. So we can't say, hey, I'm not going to be on this earth anymore on this day. So if I can't predict that, then I need to cover that risk. I need to have
Hmm.
something in place for whenever that time comes. And I think when we're younger, when we don't think we actually in need of certain things,
Hmm.
that's the absolute perfect time to start planning ahead. Because when we're younger, things are a lot less expensive, where the risk is a far lower. And so that's the reason why financial planning is based upon your particular needs, concerns, questions you ask, information I can provide, and that's what makes it customizable. So yes, I would say again, generally sooner rather than later is
Rather than later.
yes.
Can you determine how much insurance that you would need?
That's basically you can determine that, and that's the questions that I ask. Basically, what is it that you see ahead that you want to accomplish? If it's dealing with retirement, how do you want to retire? When do you want to
Sure.
retire?
Sure.
Asking those kind of questions kind of help narrow um, the scope of what you want to
Hmm.
accomplish. And because really we want it to be customizable and we want it to be efficient. And so asking what is it that you see and what is it that you want to accomplish? When do you want to retire? When do you think that you may want to downsize, move into a smaller home? All of these things are really typical questions that people ask. But
Hmm.
generally, if you met one person planning for retirement, you've only
Hmm.
met one person planning for retirement. You understand what I mean? It's everyone is different, and there is no cookie cutter situation for anyone. So that's the reason why asking someone questions, getting the information you need so we can plan something that's customizable for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Because everybody's life is different.
That's
And we
right.
live, each of us live different lives, but some things are important to one, it's not as important to the other. For
Yes.
instance, this, correct me if I'm wrong, some people may want $100,000 life insurance policy. And then as their son may only want the 20,000, life insurance policy.
And I
So
would
I
say
think,
this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go
mhm.
ahead.
No, 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 you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to say what we want and what we can have may be
Mhm.
two different things. That's
Mhm.
the reason why it's best to sit down with a financial professional, ask
Mhm.
questions,
Mhm.
because that's the part of planning, estate planning, retirement planning. What's your horizon? What's your time horizon for retirement? What's your
Mhm.
time horizon for starting your business when you retire?
Mhm.
What's your time horizon for planning for your child or your grandchild for starting college? So
Mhm.
it's all about again asking questions, and there's no one set way, but what we
Mhm.
do when we ask questions, we can put together a customizable kind
Plan.
of, solution that's
Mhm.
tailored to your needs in life.
Wow. Yeah, because I know with retirement, for me, retirement came fast. You know, one day you are in your 20s, happy go lucky, and here you are 50, and then 60, like bam, you know what I mean? And then you look
Sure.
at your pennies. How much oh, I guess I can retire. Oh, let me go. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think planning is the key. I
Yes,
really do. Planning is the key. That is how we live and how comfortably we can
that's
live.
true. Very
I
true.
think. I
Yes,
think, yeah,
I agree.
I'm learning that nowadays as I'm the mature age.
It takes time for all of us, and for some of us, it takes much longer.
Uh-huh.
But as long as we arrive and we have,
Uh-huh.
and we're not, my what I would like to do is to help remove the anxiety of just even asking questions. Because if we can't ask questions,
Oh,
then
yeah.
we can't get answers, and we
Hmm.
might not be able to change our situation. So the
That's true.
first thing, just to provide a forum
Hmm.
where we can provide some education, answer some questions, remove some myths,
Hmm.
and that's a good place to start. Just from the basic,
It's the
what is it
basics.
that you plan on doing the next 2 years, 5 years? Because
Hmm.
you categorize it or you compartmentalize it, people have a way to think like, okay, this is something I need to do now. This is
Hmm.
something I may want to accomplish later.
That's true. That's true. I often have this question, and I hear it all the time. What's the difference between whole life and I think in term life insurance?
That is, and thank you for asking that question and bringing that up because that is one of the top three questions that I receive is the difference. So I'll make it as simple as I can. Think of term insurance as coverage for a specific period of time. Permanent insurance is designed to last a lifetime. Both can serve important purposes depending on someone's goals, budget, and our overall financial situation.
I see. So that would be like these commercials that on TV. They only have life insurance until you're 85.
Yes, and to be honest with you, there are so many commercials. There's so many YouTubes. There's so many
Uh-huh.
TikToks. And again, I would say it's best find a financial professional and ask them questions because it's going to be hard to decipher, make
Hmm.
sense of what you see on the TV. And it may mislead you down a path that may not be something that um, is something that would be beneficial to you in the long run or in the short run. So it's just a mere fact. Again, find a financial professional so that you can ask these questions and say, hey, is this situation I saw on TV, is this something that would be
On
beneficial?
YouTube.
Yes. Uh,
Yeah.
it's too much information, Mary, to try to make sense of all of it. So what I try to do is just condense it down to just you, whoever I'm in
Mhm.
front of. That's the main concern. Let's start from there.
Good, good. So, in other words, you individualize the plan for that particular person. All right.
Absolutely.
You're not comparing it with YouTube or whatever on TV, whatever, just that
I
particular
can't.
person.
I can't. It's impossible. What I can be in control of is the information
Mhm.
that I provided, to
Mhm.
people in front of me. And that's what's most important, to me, is because I'm already knowing that someone in front of me, they're probably going to TikTok, Google,
Yeah,
Chat,
all those platforms.
they're going to
Yeah.
go back and they're going to do
Facebook.
their, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So why not for me make sure that I'm providing the best information, and to try to keep the information um, not too expansive, because once
Hmm.
we get down into the actual weeds of your concerns, your
Hmm.
particular needs, that's when it'll grow. That's when we'll find out other tributaries and things that you'd like to accomplish. So
Hmm.
again, it starts with the conversation. If someone is not willing to give you a conversation to answer questions first, think you may want to think again on where might you find someone who will be able to patiently answer your questions and start from there.
Yeah, they don't want to answer your questions. Maybe you shouldn't go with that one, that person.
Let's say
Maybe
that's probably a
that
good
might
way
be
to go
may
about
not
it.
be the one.
That's right. In this day and time when information is extremely valuable when life events seem to, they do. Life events fall out of the sky, and some life events can be planned for. And so
Mhm.
that's the part about protection, life insurance, planning is getting the information up front so that you can, make a measured decision about what you'd like to do
Mhm.
um, with your particular planning, and then we go from there.
I see. I'm still, with the term insurance, when you get 85 and you paid all these years,
Yes.
what happens when you're 85? Do you not have insurance? I always wonder, do you not have insurance? Or because it seems like you're not able to start over, correct? At
I'll say
85?
this, it depends. It depends on whatever the solution is. And again,
Oh, okay. It
I
depends on the
know, I
company.
know that, I want to stay down this lane about asking questions is because oftentimes
Mm-hmm.
when people answer questions and they say, "Hey, what about this age? And what about this particular health concern? What about this particular 401k plan? This particular individual
Mm-hmm.
retirement account?" They're all they have to do with you as an individual. So answering questions in a blanket statement, it may
Mm-hmm.
be confusing and it may not be for you. So it's about looking at someone's portfolio, looking at someone's life events, what they'd like to accomplish, and
Mm-hmm.
then we customize it based upon what it is that you'd like to accomplish. And we don't know where that might be
Mm-hmm.
when we first start talking, but that's the part is planning, asking questions. Some insurances are meant to go away at certain ages. Some insurances are meant to last a whole lifetime, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
dependent on what do you want inside your portfolio? What do you need to happen for you going
Mm-hmm.
forward in your planning? And then
Mm-hmm.
that's my responsibility is put together a solution that is
Absolutely.
that meets your needs.
Well, you're the
That,
right person, Dirk. You're the right person.
thank you.
You're the
I look
right
forward
person.
to this. Thank you.
How can this insurance help a family that's in need when the time comes? Explain many ways this can help a family during that time.
Well, I would say this. If a family's income suddenly disappears, um, be it for whatever the life event that would remove that income. Somebody may retire, somebody
Hmm.
may fortunately pass away, somebody may transition to another position.
Hmm.
Those are life events where your income may change, and life insurance can help provide a financial stability. It can help cover living expenses, debt obligations, education costs, and it helps keep a family's plans on track. And that again brings me back to what I was talking about in the planning stage, asking questions,
Hmm.
delivering information to your financial person that you're speaking to, letting them know what you want to accomplish, letting them know all of the things that you have that are important to you.
Hmm.
That's how we plan and we move forward with what you want to accomplish later on in life and then right now in the short term.
How does this help if you have a business?
Oh, yes. For business owners, life insurance can help
Hmm.
support succession planning, business continuity, protect the people who depend on the business. For many entrepreneurs, their business is the one most important, valuable asset that they have. So when it comes to succession planning for business owners,
Hmm.
that's extremely important because again, one of three things is going to happen. You're going to retire. Unfortunately, something you may happen to you. You may pass away, or you may sell that business. Any one of those three things are extremely important to the world of planning for business owners because all of those things could provide tax consequences. It
Mm.
could provide, areas of concern in your retirement planning. So having succession planning, having a plan in place for business owners, business solutions, things which help, keep your employees with you long term.
Mhm.
Those are the kinds of things that a financial person will be able to sit down with you, answer, and put together a customizable plan for you as a business owner.
Oh, I see. So it goes back to the financial planner.
It it does. It
It
does.
goes
It
back.
yes, because if again, and I back to the analogy, if you were
Hmm.
going to see whatever health professional that you were going to see, you would you would be answering questions. And why would you be answering those questions? Because that person wants to find out how is it that I can help you and provide a customizable solution or a
Hmm.
health plan for you going forward.
Estate planning also. It's,
Absolutely. I would say this, Mary, any planning is going to involve the same type of questions, information gathering, and really truly finding out what is it that you want to accomplish. How long is it that you plan on working? How long do you plan on having this business? Do you
mhm.
plan on passing this business on to a family member or a friend? So it comes down back to questions. And it is my job, or the financial professional's job, is to put forth a plan that matches your needs, your life events, and you're able to accomplish the goals that you set forth in retirement and going forward.
You're the right person for this. I'm getting all my questions answered. I hope everybody will be listening.
I hope so. I look forward to it.
I hope everybody will be listening. What factors affect the cost of life insurance policy? What factors affect the cost?
I would say factors often include age, for sure. Age, health,
Mhm.
lifestyle, coverage amount, policy type, and family medical history. All of those things, when exploring options, um,
Mhm.
those are the things at which we can put in place to provide more flexibility, because it doesn't matter how much assets or income or money someone has, we can't buy good health.
That's
And
true.
money doesn't necessarily provide for everything. Health does play a position in planning for sure with life insurance. So again, it includes age, health, lifestyle, coverage amount, and policy type. Family history also, family medical history also comes into play. So those particular areas are the areas that would be of concern and or areas in which risks would be assessed in providing those particular financial plans or goals that you have as a business owner or pre-retiree or someone who's in retirement right now.
Someone is in retirement. What common mistakes do we make choosing the correct insurance?
Waiting too long. I
Waiting
would
too
say
long.
waiting too long.
Hmm.
And I go back to, I think, in the very beginning when you asked a question about people thinking that life insurance is just for those who are older, it's only for death benefit, and not really considering the living benefits of it. Um, so I would say the biggest mistake, again, is waiting too long. Another is focusing only on cost instead of making sure coverage aligns with your goals. It's also important to renew coverage as life changes. So just those particular areas, I know typically those are the areas that offer the most flexibility, or they may limit that flexibility, and we have to put in position something else. So waiting too long, ask questions now, find out you know, answers to those questions, which might reduce your anxiety to move forward. And again, making sure the coverage aligns with your particular goals in your life event.
I, I do agree with waiting too long because when you're young, you think you have a long time.
That's right.
You do, but those years go by so fast.
I would say this, I've unfortunately learned, at my age, nothing is guaranteed, and that includes life, for
That's
sure.
true.
So since we cannot guarantee, I know you can't. I've asked the question a few times. If we can't guarantee anything in this lifetime, then we might need to start thinking and asking questions about how we can assess that risk and
Mhm.
put some protections in place so that we can go on and live our best life and have peace about our planning going forward.
Exactly. Who sang that song, Dirk? Live your life like it's golden. Who sings
That's right.
that? So I think with Jill Scott, we need to be like
Uh,
Jill
that's
Scott and
it.
get,
It's Jill. It's
I
Jill.
think so. So
And
I
you know
think we
what?
need
In
to.
order, you cannot. There's so many old sayings I can think about, but
Uh-huh.
I'll just say this: nothing is automatic, and some things
Hmm.
we have to really work for and put in place way before they come to fruition. And I would again say that retirement planning, financial planning, business planning, all of those things should be thought about in the same thought process as planning for a vacation. You plan
Really?
for a vacation in the beginning, you
Hmm.
plan for a vacation after you get back home. So if you plan for life events, retirement, college, planning,
Hmm.
business, starting a business, it's best to find out, ask the questions now so that you can get the information you need to go forward.
That's true. So you're saying that we should plan for this like we are planning a vacation.
Yes, because that affords you an opportunity to not arrive at life events and they're a surprise. There's enough about life that's a surprise already. So as much
Hmm.
as we can plan for the future,
Hmm.
that will provide us a little bit more peace than having to arrive at certain events where we had no planning and we didn't expect it at all. So as much as we can ask questions and find out, some information to guide us going forward, I think that'll be
Hmm.
most beneficial, especially for retirement planning, estate planning, starting a business,
Hmm.
college, all of these things require planning.
Is that why we see so many GoFundMe's? And
Well,
I'm not knocking GoFundMe at all,
I
but you
it's
understand what I'm saying?
I absolutely do. And unfortunately, GoFundMe is not a planned solution.
Mhm.
GoFundMe arrives unplanned. And when you don't have anything in place, and now we have to come up with something in an emergency situation. And that's what I really enjoy is just to start the conversation
Mhm.
now so that we don't have to come up with something extremely big when life
Mhm.
lands on us and we have an unexpected event, a death in the family, or a health situation. So this is the time now when we're healthy and we don't have the life event happening, is to
Mhm.
start asking questions so that we can plan and be prepared as much as we can,
Mhm.
going forward.
I have noticed that some of the mature people, they are getting a plan for cremation. And since you're in the business, have you noticed that also, or it's just the people that? that I come in contact with?
You know, I have noticed that a lot, and I would say this: it goes back to needing to ask questions because what we think is a good solution is
Mhm.
being way more costly. It may provide far less flexibility. Um, so asking questions to provide for certain situations, especially deaths, cremations,
Mhm.
burials, ask questions because you may have a thought about something and it may
Mhm.
end up costing you far more. It may not provide you what you need in that moment. You may need to make changes. And if you don't ask questions in the beginning and you make a decision that is not based upon factual information or
Mhm.
comprehensive to your needs, then you may be stuck in a situation that you can't change and you may not be happy with it. So,
Mhm.
in reference to GoFundMe, it's the same thing with retirement planning or college funding or estate planning. Whatever
Mhm.
the planning is, ask questions now while when those situations are not happening, when you
Mhm.
are healthy, when you haven't arrived at that emergency situation where you don't have any other resources. So I would
Mhm.
say cremation, ask questions if that is something that would be best for you and your family. It may be,
Mhm.
but I don't know that until I have an opportunity to speak with
To
you.
sit down and
And
have a conversation.
exactly right. Yes,
Hmm. Can you give us some successful stories, Dirk?
absolutely, I can. I would,
Okay, give us some success here.
without sharing personal details, I've seen families avoid financial hardships because planning was done in advance. While
Mm.
nothing replaces a loved one, proper planning can help prevent a financial crisis. And I would say, you know, don't wait for the perfect time to start planning. Taking time to understand your options today can create a confident, solution and bring you peace of mind for tomorrow. So I would say success stories have been friends, family members, people I've had the opportunity and the pleasure to meet during my professional experience, to have conversations, to have things in place when things actually happen. And fortunately, I've seen and been a part of some planning where some things have happened and we've had solutions in place that were right there, right on time, and provided everything that was put in place in the very beginning. So if I know I may sound like a broken record, but that's just a part of this. A part of the planning is I don't know. I don't know anything about you until I have an opportunity to speak with you. And the success stories that I've had have happened just that way. The opportunity to sit down, find out what is most important to you, Mary. What is it that you would not like to lose? What is it that you would like to have more of and more time to do? So my responsibility is to provide solutions for you to do things when you want to and how you want to in reference to your planning, your professional success that you've had along the way.
It sounds like you're telling me you need to sit down and have a cup of coffee with the person.
A cup of coffee,
Also, or some
a bite
tea,
to eat.
some green tea.
Yes, yes. Whatever the
Uh-huh.
healthy choice is,
Uh-huh.
I'm game. But truthfully, this comes from a natural, passionate place for me. Those that know
Hmm.
me personally know that this is just truthfully a part of Dirk. I love this with a passion. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those taking time to sit down and plan with me, for my success. So I would, again, find someone, a financial professional, who's willing to sit down, listen to you, and hear your story and come up with a solution that's based around your needs that will provide you what you're looking for going forward.
Well, Dirk, I'm going to change the topic or the subject now.
Okay.
I work with women,
Yes.
all right? I work with mainly single women,
Okay.
all right? So, do you have any suggestions? How can a single woman, well, I shouldn't say single, a single mom, I should say, not just single woman, let's get that straight, okay?
Got it.
A single mom,
Okay.
how can a single mom prepare, for her family and herself? Being single and her budget is very low.
I would say one, find someone that you can ask questions about that particular situation. Explain your situation that you listen, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at financially, and this is what I want to accomplish. How can we get there? This is what I want to do. This is what I have. These are my questions. How can we get there? My purpose is to empower those that I'm in front of. And goals, life experiences, plans, how can we make sense of all of that? Is to sit down and talk to someone and explain to them what you'd like to do going forward. What are your concerns?
Mhm.
And I'll say this about financial planning. It's a powerful piece to have in your pocket because it's all about you and things in which are dealing with preparation for life events, retirement, business, college education, health concerns. These are things that should be personal and customized to your situation. And what I mean by personal, these are things in which you can have in place in which no one else can see, touch, have, unless you yourself give them the right to do so. So if you want to find a way to empower yourself, to bring some peace of mind, sit down with a financial professional and talk to them about the things that you have as goals for yourself: saving, uh,
Mhm.
retirement, business, children, health. Getting your financial portfolio together. The most important asset we have is our income. So when we are in control of that, when we are able to have some planning, ask some questions, bring some stability, bring some growth, bring some power, um, and bring some peace of mind, that's very beneficial and very powerful going forward. So, young person, older
Mhm.
person, senior, ladies and gentlemen,
Mhm.
whoever we all want something that matters to us. We all want
Exactly.
to hear us. So I would start
Mhm.
again. I would say start somewhere with someone you can talk to get some planning in place. And I and I'll say this because usually with parents, mothers, fathers, grandparents, legacy is often the thing that I hear often, um, and that's planning for those that we love and care about going forward in case we're not here anymore. And I think legacy is really about preparation. It's about making life easier for the people you love. And whether that's life insurance, retirement planning, or beneficiary, designations, it's just about preparation. So it honestly, the answer is really the same for whoever I'm in front of. If you have something that you want to protect, if you have something that's important, if you have something that you don't have peace of mind about,
Mhm.
planning is the route to go. Because if we don't plan for something, I
Mhm.
think we know the saying, we surely are planning to fail. So I would again ask questions, whoever you are, whatever it is that you want to
Mhm.
accomplish, especially with your financial goals and preparation for going forward in retirement and those things, sit down and speak with someone who may be able to give you the information that you need to accomplish your
Mhm.
goals and your dreams.
Mhm. Good, good. How often should we update our policies in insurance?
That's a really good question. I will say this for the people that I work with in my practice, and
Mm-hmm.
for those that I'm able to put solutions in place. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm generally checking in with you every 6 months
Oh,
because,
okay.
you know, life events happen on a daily basis. Sometimes they happen on a minute by minute basis.
Mm-hmm.
And so just checking in, has your address changed? Has your employment changed? Has there been any new family members, additions that have come into the family, um, births of children, grandchildren. So just checking in because that's usually when we find out we need to make a change or an update. It's like, oh, I didn't know, I forgot that I may not have, gotten all of my resources from my last position where I worked. I may need to go back and check what and see what I left. That may happen when I'm checking in with you, Mary, to say, hey, Mary, how are you doing? How's things been in the last, 4 months, 5 months? Has anything changed? And you may say, hey, yes, Dirk, this has changed. And then we need to go off and we need to, address and put something in place for that particular
So,
situation. Does that make
so,
sense?
so, so it's always good to be informed, I think, what you're saying.
Yes, and just to check in.
Uh-huh.
It's uh, back to the doctor. I think if you go a long time without checking in
Uh-huh.
with your doctor, then you might run into some situations that might not be beneficial to you and your health. So same
That's
thing with your
true.
financial planning and preparation for life.
That's true. That's so true. Are you seeing any new trends with this Gen Z and Gen with all the gens? Are there any new trends with that?
Well, I would say this. I think for a lot of young professionals, um, AI is a concern to them because
Uh-huh.
they are wanting to have the opportunity to have entry level positions and have gain their experience because we often learn when we're looking for new positions and is that our new employer wants us to have experience. We can't have experience unless someone gives us an opportunity.
That's
And so
true.
with the with the introduction of AI,
Mhm.
um, a lot of young professionals are concerned about their opportunity to have that entry level position. So I would say that. I also say that young folks are ready to earn money. They're ready to
Mhm.
make money.
Uh-huh.
They're ready for their money to grow. Not to say that pre-retirees and retirees are not the same, but I would say that's often what I see with younger families is, they may not be concerned about a death benefit, but they may be concerned about wanting to have an opportunity to go to Bali and travel the world and see everything. And so that again starts with asking the right questions and sitting down and coming up with a plan that addresses our young folks' needs and gets them going and gets them excited about going forward professionally and earning money and
And
having a
earning money. You know,
yes.
I was looking at the UC Berkeley graduation. Such a
Wow.
beautiful graduation outside, and the sun was bright, and it seemed like some of them were happy. But when the moderator he came on and he said a lot of those kids would not have a job. What they were saying, I always encourage my kids to go into the medical field because some things AI can't do. You know what I mean?
You know what? That is the part, and I will to each and every one is their own. So,
Hmm.
however someone would like to have their planning, their conversation.
Hmm.
it's their choice. But I would say the more that we have an opportunity to um, sit down and figure out what is it that means most to us, what is it that we don't want to lose, what is it that we want to have with us, so that we're able to go and live our best life. Those are the things that we need to keep um, and ask questions about, and find out how we can, find those particular resources to put those things in place. And so, again, it just goes down again, Mary, to having an opportunity to sit down with someone who's able to answer questions, or give you some insight and give you something to get excited about and motivate you to move forward, to take action, to go this way or go that way, or to help you make a sound decision.
This has been such an informative conversation, Dirk. I have learned a lot.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity. It's been a pleasure of mine, and and I hope again to provide um, just a safe haven, just to ask questions and just to get information, because it's hard enough in this life just to um, go to the grocery store and find what we need sometimes, just make a decision on trivial things. So when it comes to retirement planning, estate planning, college funding, starting a business, we really need to get sound information so that we can make a informed decision. And that's the opportunity that I would love to, be able to provide, is just to sit down and talk with someone and be able to do that and provide that. And so I really appreciate
So
this
you can have your
opportunity.
best life.
Yes, that's it.
So
Yes,
you
that
have
is
your
it.
best life.
Have your best life and enjoy doing it along the way.
That sounds fantastic. Oh my goodness. Wow, I've learned so much. Oh my goodness. Would you like to give your information, Dirk?
Yeah,
Where they want to reach you, your email, your website, and all that stuff.
what I'll do is, my name is Dirk Allen, and what I will do is, Mary, I know that you have your email that they can contact you,
Hmm.
reach out to you, and they'll be able to reach me there. As always,
Okay.
my number's 310-569-0048. This is Dirk Allen, and feel free to reach out to me, and would love the opportunity to sit down, answer some questions, and it probably might be easier. I can provide my email to you, Mary, so that they'll have it once they, contact you via your email, and then they'll be able to get my information there. Does that
All
sound good?
right. All right. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Good
Sounds like
deal.
a plan. All right, people. This is Mary from Straight Talk About Health and Wellness. But in the meantime, I'm going to say be blessed, be healthy, and be safe, you guys. Okay. Until next time, this is Mary Henderson with Dirk Allen.
Bye. Thank you.